Hello everyone. In the new part of the SST, History. History's this first chapter teaches us many more things. Actually, this chapter is related to the first chapter of the class 9th History, French Revolution. If you remember properly the French Revolution, if you studied the all values which are given by the French Revolution, then there is no any difficulty to understand this chapter. The chapter, the name is here, The Rise of Nationalism in Europe. In Europe, how the nationalism started or how it rose. It is given in detail in this chapter. The chapter starts with this picture. We are looking this picture on the first page. It depicts the journey toward democracy in the Europe. This picture we are looking. In 1848, Fredericks Row, a French artist, prepared a series of 4 prints visualizing his dream of world made up of democratic and social republics. This is the picture which is drew by the Fredericks Row, the French artist. His dreams are shown in this picture. This series is called Democratic and Social Republics. The first print, which is shown in the figure first you are looking on the screen of the series, shows the people of Europe and America. In this picture you are looking, some people are marching. These people are belongs from Europe and America, men and women of all ages and social classes. You are looking these people, these all people, they are started journey toward this one. Men and women all are marching toward the liberty or toward the democracy. Men and women of all ages and social classes marching in a long train and offering homage to the Statue of Liberty as they pass by it. They are passing from the Statue of Liberty. As you would recall, artists of the time of the French Revolution personified liberty as a female figure. This you have studied in the class 9th in the French Revolution, personification. So the liberty is personified in the female figure you have studied in the class 9. Here you can recognize the torch of enlightenment she bears in one hand and the charter of the rights of man in the other hand. This is the Statue of Liberty that she is carrying torch and the charter. Charter of the rights of man in the other hand. On the earth, in the foreground of the images lie the shattered remains of the symbols of absolutist institutions. Some remains you are looking. These are the remains of the monarchical rule or absolutist rule. In Thoreau's utopian vision, it is the utopian vision said, imaginary, the people of the world are grouped as distinct nations. The different nations, the people are grouped in the different nations in different groups. These flags are shown. These are the symbols of group. Through flags and national costume, leading the procession way past the Statue of Liberty are the United States and Switzerland. It is led by United Nations and Switzerland because already the liberty was established in these countries, which by this time were already nation of the states were formed. France, identifiable by the revolutionary tricolor, had just reached the statue. It is just reached to the statue. Had just reached the statue. She is followed by the people of Germany bearing the black and red flag. Black, red and gold flag. France, then Germany. Interestingly, at the time when Suro created this image, the German people did not yet exist as a united nation. The flag they carry is an expression of liberal hopes in 1848 to unify the numerous German-speaking principalities into a nation state under a democratic constitution. Following the German people are the people of America, the kingdom of the two Sicilies, Lombardy, Poland, England, Ireland, Hungary, and Russia. From the heavens above, Christ, saints, and angels gaze upon the scene. From the heaven, these are the people. They are blessing to these people for the democracy. Christ, saint, angels gaze upon the scene. They have been used by the artist to symbolize fraternity among the nations of the world. They are symbolizing here the fraternity, brotherhood in the world. This chapter will deal with many of the issues visualized by Suro in a flag. During the 19th century, nationalism emerged as a force which brought about sweeping changes in the political, mental world of Europe. In this chapter, we will study the mental changes and political changes which brought in this period in the Europe. The end result of these changes was the emergence of the nation state in a place of the multinational dynastic empires of Europe. In the earlier period, the dynastic rules of the empires were there, which were replaced by the nations or the states. The concept and practices of a modern state in which a centralized power exercised sovereign control over a clearly defined territory. The nation is formed with the term sovereign control. No other control is there in the internal affairs, that is the nation. Control over a clearly defined territory. The territory is also clearly defined. Had been developing over a long period of time in Europe. And this was developing from a long time. But a nation state was one in which the majority of citizens and not only its rulers came to develop a sense of common identity and shared history or descent. This commonness did not exist from time immemorial. It was forged through struggles, through the actions of leaders and the common people. The nation built here, it was not easy task. This is done by many strugglers, many common people came together and formed the nation. This chapter will look at the diverse processes through which nation, states and nationalism came into being in the 19th century in Europe. So in this chapter we will study how the nation built or came on a scene that we will study in this chapter. So here we are going to study what is nation. Nation means a nation is a culmination of a long past of endeavors, sacrifice and devotion. A heroic past, great men, glory, that is the social capital upon which one bases a national idea. To have common glories in the past, to have a common will in the present, to have performed great deeds together, to wish or perform still more. These are the essential conditions of being a people. A nation is therefore a large scale solidarity. So, what is the nation? It is explained in the source A. Ernst Renan. He is explaining the meaning of the nation. It gives very well definition of the nation.